Once upon a time, in a meadow filled with blooming flowers, there lived a curious butterfly named Bella. Bella was unlike any other butterfly in the meadow. While others fluttered aimlessly, Bella always believed that there was more to the meadow than what met the eye. One sunny morning, as Bella was sipping nectar from a bright yellow daffodil, she overheard an old beetle named Boris talking about a secret garden hidden somewhere in the meadow. Curious and excited, Bella decided to find this secret garden. Bella first approached her friend, Timmy the turtle, and asked if he knew anything about the secret garden. Timmy, slow but wise, said that he had heard legends about the garden but had never seen it himself. He suggested they talk to Granny Oak, the oldest and wisest tree in the meadow. Bella and Timmy made their way to Granny Oak, dodging playful chipmunks and scampering bunnies. Granny Oak, with her vast branches and rustling leaves, welcomed them warmly. She told them that the secret garden was a place of enchantment and beauty, but it could only be found by those who truly believed in its magic. Encouraged by Granny Oak's words, Bella fluttered her wings with determination. She and Timmy decided to venture deeper into the meadow, a part they had never explored before. They navigated through tall grasses, crossed sparkling streams, and even encountered a singing nightingale who joined them on their quest. After what seemed like an endless journey, they reached a mossy archway covered in crawling ivy and blooming roses. Beyond the archway was the most beautiful sight Bella had ever seen. The secret garden was a riot of colors with flowers that shimmered like jewels and trees that whispered ancient songs. In the center of the garden, they found a sparkling pond surrounded by lilies. As Bella hovered above it, she saw her reflection and realized that the garden's magic was not in its beauty, but in the belief and the journey taken to find it. Bella and Timmy spent the rest of the day exploring the garden, discovering hidden corners, playing with magical creatures, and enjoying the tranquil beauty of the place. As the sun began to set and the sky painted itself in hues of orange and pink, Bella and Timmy knew it was time to return home, but not without a promise to visit the secret garden again. Back in their meadow, they shared their adventure with their friends, and soon the story of the secret garden spread like wildfire. Bella had proven that with a curious mind and a believing heart, even the most beautiful secrets could be discovered. And so the meadow thrived, buzzing with excitement and wonder, forever enchanted by the tale of Bella and the secret garden.
In a magical land far, far away, there was a wonderful place called Numberland. Numberland was a kingdom where everything revolved around numbers. The trees had numbers on their leaves, the rivers flowed in the shape of numeral signs, and even the sun and the moon changed their shapes to display time. The kingdom was ruled by the wise and kind Queen Tania, who had 10 sparkling jewels on her crown. Queen Tania loved teaching the children of Numberland all about numbers and simple math. One bright morning, 4 friends, Lily the lion, Moby the monkey, Ellie the elephant, and Daisy the duck, decided to go on an adventure to explore Numberland and learn more about numbers. Queen Tania had prepared a special quest for them. They had to solve number puzzles to reach the Golden Castle. The first stop on their adventure was the Forest of Addition. As they walked through the forest, they saw trees with numbered apples. To continue their journey, they needed to pick the right apples to add up to a specific number. Lily the lion counted, 2 apples plus 3 apples make 5 apples. They were correct. They felt super proud and continued their journey. Next, the friends arrived at the river of subtraction. They needed to cross the river by subtracting stones to find the right number of steps on the stone bridge. We have 10 stones and need to subtract 4 to get 6 steps, said Moby the monkey, hopping from stone to stone. With happy cheers, the friends made it across the river. After a while, they entered the meadow of multiplication. Beautiful flowers with numbers on their petals were everywhere. Ellie the elephant used her trunk to point out, if we have 4 flowers and each flower has 3 petals, how many petals are there in total? Daisy the duck quacked joyfully, 12 petals. They laughed and danced through the meadow, delighted with their newfound knowledge. Finally, they reached the Hill of Division. On this hill, they found baskets of berries that needed to be shared equally. We have 12 berries and 4 baskets. How many berries go in each basket? Asked Ellie. The friends counted carefully, placing 3 berries in each basket. Triumphant, they made their way to the golden castle where Queen Tania awaited them. You have done well, my brave adventurers. You have learned so much on your journey about addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, Queen Tania praised. She awarded each friend a shining medal in the shape of a star, symbolizing their bright minds. The friends returned home, their hearts full of joy and their heads filled with numbers. Once upon a time in a cozy little forest, there lived a curious bear named Benny. Benny loved to explore and discover new things. One sunny morning, Benny was wandering through the forest when he stumbled upon a big, colorful hot air balloon caught in the branches of a tall tree. Oh, wow! What's this? Benny wondered aloud. He had never seen a hot air balloon before. Being the curious bear he was, Benny decided he simply had to take a closer look. Benny climbed the tree with great excitement. He tugged and pulled, and with a final hefty pull, the balloon sprang free from the branches. Benny tumbled down, landing safely on a soft patch of moss. He got up, brushed himself off, and looked at the magnificent balloon. I wonder how this works, Benny said to himself as he climbed into the basket. Benny found a big lever in the basket and, with a little hesitation, he pulled it. Suddenly, the balloon began to inflate, and before Benny knew it, he was rising high above the treetops. Oh my! This is amazing! Benny shouted with joy, waving at his forest friends below. The birds chirped and flew alongside him, the deer looked up in awe, and the squirrels chattered excitedly. Benny soared higher and higher until he could see everything for miles around. He saw rivers glistening like silver ribbons, mountains standing tall and proud, and fields of flowers looking like colorful patchwork quilts. Benny felt like the king of the world. Just as Benny was marveling at the beauty around him, a strong gust of wind blew the balloon toward the mountains. Benny held on tight, his heart racing with a mix of fear and excitement. As the balloon drifted closer to the mountains, Benny noticed a cave high up on a cliff. Inside the cave, he saw a family of eagles chirping loudly. Benny realized they were stuck and couldn't reach their food supply. Without a second thought, Benny skillfully maneuvered the balloon closer to the cliff. He tossed a rope to the eagles so they could pull their food to safety. The grateful eagles chirped in joy and flapped their wings in thanks. Eventually, the wind changed direction, and the balloon gently floated back to the forest. Benny landed with a soft thud, right back where he started. His forest friends gathered around, eager to hear about his adventure. Benny smiled and said, "Today, I learned that curiosity can lead to amazing discoveries and even help others in need." And from that day on, Benny's friends always looked up in awe whenever they saw a hot air balloon, remembering the day when Benny, the brave and curious bear, rode among the clouds.
In a lush meadow filled with colorful flowers, there lived a little butterfly named Bella. Bella wasn't like the other butterflies. While most had wings in shades of yellow, orange, and purple, Bella's wings were a plain dull gray. Bella wished more than anything to have beautiful wings like her friends, and she often felt sad and out of place. One sunny morning as Bella fluttered about, she decided to visit the wise old owl, Oliver, who lived in the ancient oak tree at the edge of the meadow. Oliver was known for his wisdom and kind heart. Bella hoped he might know how she could change her wings. Oliver listened to Bella's plight with a thoughtful expression. "Bella, beauty comes from within, not just from what we see on the outside. But I understand your wish. There is a legend of the magic rainbow that appears during the first spring rain. It's said that anyone who flies through it will be granted a wish. It won't be easy though, as the rainbow only lasts for a short time. Determined, Bella thanked Oliver and waited for the first spring rain. Days turned into weeks, and just when Bella was starting to lose hope, the skies darkened and raindrops began to fall. Bella sped towards the open meadow, her heart racing. As she fluttered around, she saw it, a magnificent rainbow stretching across the sky. Gathering all her courage, Bella flew straight towards the rainbow. As she passed through its colorful arcs, she felt a warm, tingling sensation spread through her wings. When Bella emerged from the rainbow, she let out a gasp of joy. Her once gray wings were now shimmering with all the colors of the rainbow. As she fluttered around the meadow, her friends admired her beautiful new wings. Bella had never been happier. But what truly surprised her was the way she felt inside. The journey she took to achieve her dream made her realize that she was always special, no matter the color of her wings. From that day on, Bella embraced her uniqueness and spread joy throughout the meadow. Her rainbow wings sparkling in the sunlight. And every time she saw her reflection, she remembered Oliver's wise words and smiled with her heart aglow.
Once upon a time in the lush green forests of the north, there lived a cheerful little bear named Benny. Benny had big, dreamy eyes and an even bigger heart. He loved adventures and dreamed of sailing across the wide, blue ocean. One bright and sunny morning, Benny's best friend, Tilly the turtle, came to visit. Tilly always carried wise stories and fun activities in her shell. Tilly noticed Benny gazing wistfully at the distant horizon and asked, "Benny, what are you thinking about?" Benny sighed and replied, "Oh Tilly, I wish I could sail across the ocean and see the world." Tilly thought for a moment and then smiled, "Why don't we build a boat? With teamwork, we can make your dream come true." Excited, Benny and Tilly set to work. They gathered strong wood from the forest, tied vines to make ropes, and collected leaves for a makeshift sail. As they toiled, their forest friends joined in. Sammy the squirrel brought nuts for snacks, Polly the parrot shared colorful feathers for decoration, and Freddie the frog sang cheerful tunes to keep their spirits high. With everyone's help, their boat was ready in no time. It was a magnificent little vessel, painted bright yellow with feathers fluttering in the breeze. Together, Benny, Tilly, and their friends pushed the boat to the river that led to the sea. As they paddled downstream, Benny's heart raced with excitement and joy. The river carried them gently to the ocean where waves greeted them like old friends. Days turned into nights as they sailed under the twinkling stars and puffy clouds. They encountered playful dolphins, curious gulls, and even a wise old sea turtle who told tales of faraway lands. Benny learned to steer the boat and catch fish. Tilly shared her turtle wisdom, teaching him about the stars and navigation. Every day was a new adventure. One day, as the sun painted the sky with shades of orange and pink, they reached a land unlike anything they had seen. It had golden beaches and towering palm trees. The animals there greeted them warmly and shared stories of their own dreams. Benny realized that the journey was just as important as the destination. In his heart, he carried the warmth of friendship, the thrill of adventure, and the joy of discovery. As Benny and Tilly sailed back home, the forest cheered their return. Benny's dream had come true, but more importantly, he had learned the magic of dreams, friendship, and adventure. And so, Benny's days were filled with tales of his dreamy voyage, inspiring all the young animals to dream big and set sail on their own adventures. The end.
Once upon a time in a cheerful town, there was a boy named Timmy and a girl named Lily. Timmy loved to play soccer and climb trees, while Lily enjoyed painting and dancing. One sunny day, their teacher Mrs. Adams decided to talk about an important topic in class. She greeted everyone with a smile and said, "Today we're going to learn about boys and girls and how they are different in some ways but also very much alike. Let's start with boys. Boys like Timmy have certain body parts like the penis and testicles that are different from girls. These parts help boys with things like going to the bathroom and, when they grow up, playing a role in making babies. Timmy's face turned a bit red, but Mrs. Adams continued gently. Now let's talk about girls. Girls like Lily have body parts called the vagina and ovaries. These parts help girls with going to the bathroom and, when they grow up, in making babies too. Lily listened carefully, feeling a bit curious. Mrs. Adams then said, boys and girls also have other body differences. For example, boys usually have more muscles and grow facial hair when they get older, while girls usually have wider hips and develop breasts. But despite these differences, boys and girls are very similar in many other ways. They can both be strong, smart, kind, and creative. Timmy and Lily looked at each other and smiled. They realized that even though their bodies have some differences, they can still be great friends who enjoy playing and learning together. That day, Mrs. Adams taught Timmy, Lily, and all their friends an important lesson.
In life, children may encounter situations that make them feel uncomfortable or violated. Learning how to seek help and support correctly is crucial for their safety. Firstly, children need to be clear about their feelings. If they feel scared, uneasy, or unfairly treated, they should realize that this is not normal and must tell a trusted person. Next, children need to learn to identify who they can trust. They can seek help from parents, teachers, relatives, or other trusted adults. These individuals usually care about their safety and well-being. When children decide to tell someone, they should try to describe the situation in detail, including who, when, where, and how it happened. The clearer the details, the more timely and effective the help will be. Sometimes, children may feel embarrassed or afraid of upsetting the other person. At such times, remind them that nothing is more important than their safety, and they have the right to say no. Additionally, children can seek help and support through specialized helplines, such as child protection hotlines. These helplines have professionals who provide counseling and protection services, ensuring that children receive the help and legal support they deserve. Finally, educate children about their rights, letting them know that in any situation, their physical and emotional well-being should be respected. If they experience any violation or discomfort, no matter how small, they should seek help immediately. This way, they will feel safer and more confident in life. Once upon a time, in the heart of the vast blue ocean, there lived a curious young dolphin named Daisy. Daisy was known amongst her friends for her boundless energy and endless curiosity about the world around her. She loved to explore the coral reefs, dance with colorful fish, and play in the waves. But there was one thing that Daisy longed to see more than anything, a starfish that was said to glow like a star in the night sky. One sunny morning, as Daisy was swimming with her best friend, Tilly the turtle, she said, "Tilly, have you ever heard of the glowing starfish?" Tilly nodded her head slowly. "Yes, Daisy. The old octopus, Ollie, told me about it once. It's supposed to be very far away, beyond the rainbow reef." Daisy's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Let's go find it." Tilly nervously twitched her flippers. "It's a dangerous journey, Daisy. There are swift currents and shadowy caves. But if you really want to go, I'll come with you." With determination and a splash, Daisy and Tilly set off on their grand adventure. They swam through fields of seaweed, dodged whirlpools, and navigated through dark underwater caves. Daisy's heart pounded with excitement at every twist and turn. Tilly, although scared, felt braver with Daisy by her side. As they reached the edge of the rainbow reef, a swarm of jellyfish floated into their path. "Be careful, Daisy," Tilly warned. "Jellyfish stings can hurt." Daisy nodded, carefully weaving through the jellyfish, with Tilly right behind her. Just as they thought they were safe, an enormous shadow loomed over them. It was Bruce, the grumpy old shark. "What are you two doing in my part of the ocean?" Bruce growled menacingly. Daisy swallowed her fear and replied, "We're searching for the glowing starfish, Bruce. Please, let us pass." Bruce snorted but surprisingly gave a toothy grin. "The glowing starfish, you say? No one has ever been brave enough to search for it. I'll let you pass, but only if you tell me what you find when you get back." Relieved, Daisy and Tilly promised and swam past Bruce. As they swam deeper, the water grew colder and darker. But then, a faint glow appeared in the distance. "Look, Daisy! There it is!" Tilly exclaimed. The glowing starfish was more beautiful than anything Daisy had ever seen. It shimmered and glowed, casting a soft light around it. Daisy and Tilly marveled at its beauty and felt a sense of accomplishment. With the starfish's gentle glow guiding them back, they returned to tell Bruce of their discovery. True to his word, Bruce let them pass safely. And when they finally reached home, they shared their story with all their friends. Daisy's adventure became a legend in the ocean, inspiring every creature to be brave and curious. And from that day on, whenever the ocean seemed dark, Daisy remembered the glow of the starfish, lighting up her heart with courage and wonder. In a small village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a tiny dragonfly named Dazzle. Dazzle wasn't like any ordinary dragonfly, she had shimmering wings that glowed with all the colors of the rainbow. Although she was small, Dazzle had a big heart and an even bigger secret. Her garden was magical. Hidden behind a cascade of weeping willows, Dazzle's garden brimmed with flowers that could sing, trees that could dance, and a pond that reflected the dreams of those who gazed into it. Every creature in the village knew that the garden was a place of wonder, though few had ever seen it. One sunny morning, as Dazzle was fluttering about watering her sunflowers, she heard a faint sobbing sound. Following the sound, she found a young rabbit named Rollo crying under a mushroom. "Why are you crying?" Dazzle asked gently. Rollo sniffled, "I lost my way home and I'm scared." Dazzle thought for a moment and then said, "Come with me to my garden. Maybe it can help." Rollo wiped his tears and followed Dazzle through the curtain of willows. As soon as Rollo stepped into the garden, his eyes widened in amazement. Flowers in brilliant hues stretched and yawned, waking from their slumber. The trees swayed to a silent melody, and the pond sparkled like 1,000 stars. "Welcome to my magical garden," Dazzle announced with a smile. Rollo, forgetting his fear, began to explore. He met singing daisies, waltzing willows, and even a talking lily pad named Lila. Each creature whispered words of encouragement, making him feel braver with each step. "Look into the pond," Dazzle suggested. Rollo peered into the water, and to his astonishment, he saw his home, nestled safely by a meadow of clover. Dazzle fluttered beside him. "The garden shows us the way when we are lost." With renewed courage, Rollo thanked Dazzle and followed the stream that led out of the garden.
Once upon a time in a quaint little village lived a cheerful little girl named Emily. Emily was always curious about the world and loved exploring her surroundings. Her best friend was a wise old owl named Otis, who had seen the world and knew many important things. One sunny afternoon, Emily and Otis perched under their favorite oak tree, discussing their adventures. Otis noticed Emily seemed a bit puzzled. "Is something bothering you, Emily?" Otis asked, his large eyes full of concern. Emily hesitated but then spoke. "Otis, I've been thinking about what we learned in school today. The teacher talked about safe and unsafe touches, but I'm still confused." Otis nodded knowingly. "It's very important to understand, Emily. Safe touches are those that make you feel happy, comfortable, and secure. These are touches like a hug from your mom, a high five from a friend, or holding hands when you're crossing the street." Emily thought for a moment and then asked, "What about unsafe touches?" Otis sighed. "Unsafe touches are those that make you feel uncomfortable, scared, or confused. These are touches that hurt you or make you feel bad. For example, if someone touches you in areas that are covered by your swimsuit, that's an unsafe touch. Or if someone touches you and makes you feel uncomfortable in any way, it's not okay. Emily's eyes widened with understanding, but she still had a question. What should I do if someone gives me an unsafe touch? Otis replied firmly. First and foremost, you say no, loudly and clearly. Then, get away from the person as quickly as possible and tell a trusted adult right away, like your parents, teachers, or another family member. Emily nodded, feeling much more confident now. Thank you, Otis. I understand now. It's all about listening to how a touch makes me feel and knowing it's okay to speak up. Otis smiled. Always trust your feelings, Emily. Remember, you have the right to stay safe. And with that, Emily felt much more secure, knowing how to differentiate between safe and unsafe touches. She knew she could always rely on her own feelings, and that she had the power to keep herself safe. The wise old owl and the brave little girl headed home, ready for their next adventure, with Emily knowing that knowledge is power and feeling safer than ever.